Well, I think water, after all, is your life. Take it without water, what will you do? How do you sort of live without water? So you see, when Islamabad, for instance, was planned, in olden days, all the cities of Pakistan have been built along river systems. You have Lahore, you have Multan, you have Hyderabad, you have Karachi, even the Karachi is on the river. And Peshawar was built along a river also. So Islamabad, when Islamabad was built, there was no river. And automatically they felt that, well, we have mountains and the mountains will recharge the groundwater table, and as such you will always have enough water. So when Islamabad was planned in the planning stage, the planners already emphasized the need that the water discharge must never exceed the recharge. So you must never take more water out from the ground as it is being recharged. Okay? So that was a balance in nature, recharge, discharge. Now, unfortunately, with the rapid increase of the Islamabad expansion, our groundwater table is going down. In fact, the water table in certain areas has gone down to below 300 feet. There are certain sectors of Islamabad where institutions were trying to put up tube wells, and there is no water. You see, our problem is that most of the rivers come from India, okay? And the only river which is in our control, which is in Pakistan's control, is the Hunza River and the Gilgit River. Even the Indus River is not coming from Pakistan. It starts from Tibet, and that part is being controlled by China. The Chinese are putting up reservoirs to take the water from that river system. The Indians are putting up reservoirs to take the water from the tributaries which feed the Indus River. So what is coming down? So the Indus River might be giving us less water. So, but we have the Gilgit and the Hunza River, and there we don't bother because the forests have been completely destroyed. And for us, the forests are a very important source to retain a healthy watershed. And if you don't have a healthy watershed, then you have problems. You see now, for instance, this is what India is producing. I mean, this is just one of the publications in India. They have got it in all sorts of different local languages, rainwater harvesting. And it gives all the designs, the normal designs which can be used for rural, for high-rise, for simple residences, and how you harvest that water and how you prepare filter beds to allow it to trickle through. It's so, and we are not doing anything. And we keep on, since the last 12 years, I have, for instance, been writing in the Dawn, in the News, and in other papers about rainwater harvesting. Now, the CTA, a few years ago, we have had meetings with the CDA, Ministry of Environment, CDA, and a few years ago, the CDA introduced in its municipal bylaws a tiny chapter for that every new building has to have a rainwater harvesting system. But nobody is implementing it because nobody bothers about implementing any of the bylaws which we have in our municipal. When we are lucky enough and it rains, then we put our buckets out and we collect the rainwater because we are living upstairs and well, sometimes the water spout or the dripping of the roof, so we collect that water. And that water my servant then uses for either cleaning or some other, even he washes clothes at times with it because if it has rained for more than 10 minutes, the rainwater is very clean. Now there are, you see, in our neighboring country, India, rainwater harvesting has been even implemented in the most congested old city of Delhi. They have controlled the storm drain water and feed it into some underground tanks. But we definitely have to have a lot of emphasis about how to save water because, as you were mentioning before, that wars will be fought over water. And we are in a terrible situation presently because outside Islamabad, when Islamabad, as I said, was planned, the Margala Hills were there to feed the nalas. And we had enough clean water in the nalas of Islamabad. And today, these nalas are getting sewage water. So every nala in Islamabad is smelling. So that water is now recharging our groundwater table. So whatever water you're pumping out, this dirty water from the nala is recharging the groundwater table. So many years ago, about 15 years ago in the German embassy, they were boring down at 150 feet to install a tube well. Well, the water was tested and it was full of E. coli, contaminated. And that was in the German embassy, in the diplomatic enclave. So if that water in that area is already contaminated, can you imagine what the people of Pindi are getting? Because all the filth from Islamabad is flowing into the river's Nala system, Leh Nala, and recharging the groundwater table of our twin city. And then, of course, nobody bothers because it is the poor people who are basically affected by it. And, well, when the rich people get ill, well, then they have a good doctor who treats them.